Hello and welcome to this 30-minute gentle flow practice. It is gentle just to bring some compassionate movement into the body, and at a deeper level just allowing energy to flow more freely as we focus on the breath. The recording took place is taking place in winter. We're just heading into the winter solstice, and it's a time of stillness, whereas life can be drawing us out into Christmas and a lot of activity. So we need to be nourished and supported during this time, because the body is wanting to go into stillness even though life is drawing us elsewhere. And as we journey into stillness, there is a possibility sometimes that we can move into stagnation. And so we get very heavy and we get very lethargic and we don't want to do anything. And so it's finding that balance of not doing much at times if you can, but also not kind of slipping into that heaviness of lethargy. So my intention for this practice is to just bring some soft movement into the body. And if you are feeling quite heavy or quite lethargic, maybe this little practice will help you. So we'll start off seated, closing the eyes and just taking a moment to come into the breath. All that means is we're just starting to observe the breath. Not wanting the breath to be a certain way, not trying to make the breath be a certain way, but we're just observing. Observing as the body breathes in and how that feels, what parts of the body move. And observing an exhale, how that feels and what parts of the body move. Not attaching a story to any of this about how your breathing is today, about what your body is doing. Just observing the breath. And for this practice, this is the space, the energetic space that we want to keep on coming back to, this observation of the breath. It's very easy in yoga to get just caught up in the observation of the physical, what it is or isn't doing, depending on your expectations of what your practice should be like, what your body is supposed to be doing. And that's the trap that we can get caught up in. We just see our practice as something very physical and very external. It's actually a very internal, introspective practice. Yes, we observe what's going on externally, but we're not attached to it. We're not putting a story on it. We don't have wants or desires about it. We just keep coming back to the breath, which will always bring us into this space of neutrality and the space of being able to witness. Just witness what is going on without criticizing, judging, attaching, avoiding, all the stuff we get caught up in. So this is time to just step away from that, just for 30 minutes of your day. We'll open up the practice physically by drawing space. On the inhale, just lifting the arms up above the head. Try not to get the shoulders to ears, just a sense of lengthening torso out of pelvis. Exhale, bringing the hands down through the midline of the body in Namaste. And then again on the inhale, just work with your own rhythm. I'm just a guide. Please don't do what I do when I do it. When your exhale comes, just drawing the hands again down the midline, Namaste. So a couple more with your breathing, with your rhythm. Don't ever compromise your rhythm to fit into mine. I am just guiding what's coming up, what to do. Maybe you don't feel like doing it, that's okay. It's not a dictate, it's just suggestions. But an awareness of the breath underlying the movement, that's the focus, rather than the movement itself. And then the next time you come down through the midline, just releasing the hands in a moment here. We're going to bring some gentle movement into the neck and the shoulders, super tight for all of us. Not always willing to move in the way that we want them to either, so no pressure, no expectation. And if it doesn't feel right for you, if it's a bit gnarly on your neck at some point, just don't go there. Just come back into stillness and focus on the breath. Exhale out, softening chin down to chest. Inhale, right ear towards right shoulder. Try and keep right shoulder relaxed. Be careful here as we exhale, just take the head behind. Inhale, left ear towards left shoulder. Try and keep left shoulder relaxed. Exhaling brings the chin down to chest. So we'll do that one more time. The inhale, just opening up through the left side as right ear softens maybe to right shoulder. The exhale, check this is okay as you look up, opening through the front of the neck. To then exhale, just gliding left ear towards left shoulder. And then chin down to chest. Just come back up to center for a moment. We'll do that on the other side or the other way. Exhale, chin down to chest. Inhale, left ear towards left shoulder. Exhale, just be careful here. Your neck feels okay as we drop it back slightly. Inhaling, right ear to right shoulder. And then just rolling chin down to chest through the exhale. One more time, the inhale, opening up the left side of the neck, right ear towards right shoulder. Exhale, opening the front of the throat. Inhaling the opposite ear to the shoulder. I think I cued you wrong, sorry. And then softening chin down to chest. And then coming back up to center. The shoulders. So the arms are loose now. Just release the hands away from the legs. Excuse me, frog in the throat. Inhale, bringing the shoulders up towards the ears. Pause, squeeze the top tip of shoulder blades together. Exhale, slowly releasing shoulder blades down the back. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, consciously just bringing the shoulders up towards the ears. They kind of like to live there sometimes. Pausing to squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale to release shoulder blades down the back. One more time. Inhale, bringing the shoulders up. Pausing, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Exhale, releasing shoulder blades down the back. We're now going to do some gentle side bending with the breath. So take the left hand out, anchoring it onto the floor, soften left elbow. Side bend, inhale, right arm reaches up and then extending over, lengthening through side of waist. Exhale, coming back, placing your right hand on the floor. Other side, inhale, lengthen through the left side of the torso, taking it over into side bend. Exhale, just coming back to center, anchoring the left hand down. So work with your own breath, all right? The inhales, opening up through the side body. The exhale, just coming back to center. Close your eyes and just get a sense here of really moving with the breath, okay? So it's always the breath that invites the body to move. And then the body, I always think of it like it surfs, it surfs the wave of the breath. This is good practice for getting out of our own way. This is good practice for not having an expectation of what we're supposed to do or the body should be doing or we want it to do, and then we judge it when it doesn't do that. just keeps on bringing us back into the present moment as we choose to focus on the breath. After the next side bend, just coming back into a seated neutral position with the spine. Moving into seated cat-cow. So take your legs out into a diamond shape. A little bit of energy, just pressing the feet together, okay? And then the inhale just opens up through the front of the heart space, extending that energy forward. Exhale, just rounding through the back of the body, the back of the heart space, chin down to chest. Inhale, heart space opens forward. Exhale, just rounding the back of the body, chin to chest. So work with your own breath here while I deal with my frog. Nice and slow, right? And just remember that we're moving with the wave of the breath rather than moving the body and then maybe having a breath as an afterthought. We just gentle movement into the body just to help any stagnant energy, any lethargy, any heaviness that can be quite apparent this time of year. Just easing it out, but in a soft, compassionate way, okay? On the next exhale, just stay here for a few breaths. Excuse me, so the back of the body is rounded, a softening of chin down to chest. And then bringing the torso up, coming onto all fours for cat-cow. So that maybe, I'm going to say normal cat-cow, it's not really normal, but you know, the more familiar cat-cow maybe. Again, onto all fours. As we move on the inhale, opening up through the front of the heart space. Exhaling, rounding the back of the body, long in the back of the neck. Again, I'm going to say this a lot, just working with your own rhythm and that sense of being guided by the breath. When we get out of our own way and when the body and the breath can work it out with each other, we actually benefit so much more from that. Because when we get in the way, we all do it, you know, maybe we get a little bit pushing, a little bit forceful with the body because we have this idea, this expectation, this want perhaps of what the body should be doing. And it kind of steps out of the boundaries of the physical body because we're not listening to it. You know, we're listening to the mind, this projection that we have on our body of what it should be doing. So when we get out of the way and just focus on the breath, but let the breath and the body communicate with each other, the body actually responds more. Because it's being listened to through the breath. Come back to a neutral position with the spine, just one more cat-cow variation. Take the knees out wide, big toes touch. This time we don't really move the position of the torso, keeping the lumbar curve, but we do move the torso back and forth, all right? So inhale again, heart space opens. Exhale, just sending your buttocks back towards your heels. It's not about getting there. We want to keep the lumbar curve, just getting into the hip creases, into the groin. Lot of stagnant energy there. And then inhale, heart space opens, coming up. Exhale, sending the pelvis back. So what we carry on with this, what we do without realizing it is when we have overwhelming situations, emotional situations, a lot when we were younger, when we couldn't process what was going on at the time, we kind of just stuff that energy, that emotional energy into the body. And where we have space in the body is where we tend to put a lot of that energy, and there's space in the hips. There's space in all the joints. And at that time when we weren't able to cope or emotionally process what was going on, it was a survival mechanism. That's why we all do it without even realizing it. But then that energy stays there, you know, and it stagnates. Energy is like water, like it needs to move and it needs to flow. And it's exactly like water. When it can't do that, it starts to stagnate, and then over time it gets really toxic. So we're just giving the opportunity for any stagnant, old, toxic energy to release out. Coming back up onto all fours, knees in. Sometimes we need to do a little bit of work for that release, but sometimes it just needs an avenue of release, which is the exhale. Downward facing dog. So big palms, a softness in the elbows. As always, we invite the shoulder blades to wrap into the armpits so we don't get into the rotator cuff muscles when we're on our hands. Squeeze upper arms together, let go through the back of the neck. So look down between your legs and then coming up into downward facing dog. Just check here, you haven't locked out your elbows, your shoulders aren't up around your ears. It's very common to do. It's also very... it can be very harmful to the body because we're asking muscles to hold us on our hands that don't want to do that. So it might seem challenging at first, but you'll get stronger in the right places. So wrap the shoulder blades, or just inviting the shoulder blades to wrap in towards the armpits as we squeeze upper arms together. Soft in the elbow creases. Take one breath here. Walking the feet up into Ragdoll. So the feet are about hip width apart, the knees are bent, letting your belly rest on or towards your thighs. You can choose what you want to do with your arms, opposite elbows, let them hang loose. You can hug your legs. The important thing here is to be aware of the weight distribution through the feet. Okay, so if you're rolling onto the edges or you're gripping your toes a lot, just move the energy. For me, it's always inner ankles and back towards the heels. I'm a serial toe gripper, so I have to really watch out. Again, long in the back of the neck, so chin up towards the chest, crown of the head facing towards the earth, and we'll take a couple of breaths here. Just letting the exhale release any energy through the crown of the head. Energy also being invited to release down the legs and out through the balls of the feet. Release the arms if they were doing something, and on the exhale, very slowly rolling up through a Pilates Ragdoll roll up. Finding your way once you're up into mountain. So a couple of breaths here, just nice and anchored through the feet. Try not to lock the knees out. This feeling, if you practice with me, you know we do this glute activation of really trying to squeeze the glutes down towards the gluteal creases. This helps to initiate the fibers of the glute max, which brings in support around the SI joint and the lumbar. Lifting up through the crown so we're not collapsing down. Moving through 3 rounds of half sun salutes. Exhale, hands into Namaste. Inhale, reach up, lifting the torso out of pelvis. Try and keep shoulders away from ears. Soften the knees if you need to. Tilt from the pelvis. Exhale, forward fold. Nice and slow. Release the back of the neck. You can look through your legs here. Crown of the head towards the floor. Inhale, flat back, hands on your shins or fingertips on floor. Exhale, forward fold, release the back of the neck. Inhale, coming all the way up. Slow and steady, moving with the breath. Exhale, Namaste. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Just check the shoulders are away from the ears.
Exhale, forward fold, crown of the head faces towards the earth. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, namaste. One more round. Inhale, opening the heart. Exhale, folding the heart in towards the thighs, forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Sorry if I just miscued you then. Inhale, coming all the way up. Exhale, namaste. Releasing the arms into mountain. Taking a breath in. A roll down, Pilates style roll down. Exhale, chin to chest. Just rolling down. You may want to take a few breaths here. That feeling of just rolling down through the whole of the spine. Bend the knees as much as you need to, for sure, no locking out. And then we find ourselves back into Ragdoll. And then gently supporting yourself, come down to seated. So crossing the legs, whichever leg comes in front, it'll be your dominant one. And we're going to move into some twisting, but twisting with the breath. So it's very easy when we twist, we kind of use the hands and almost use them as levers to force the body perhaps into a deeper twist that it's not quite ready for. So we're going to get the hands out of the way. And you can place them on your heart. I would do that, but I'm going to cover up the mic. If you want to, on your heart, on your energetic heart. If you feel comfortable, you can have them on your belly, just anywhere so they're not like forcing the torso. Close the eyes here and have a soft exhale out through the mouth. Inhale, just press the sit bones into the earth, lift up through crown. Twisting to the right, exhale, navel and front rib cage draw in, and then we're just twisting from the mid-torso as far as the body wants to go. And then we take a breath here, so we inhale when we're static. Exhale, coming back to center. Take a breath in. Exhale, twisting to the left as the navel and front rib cage draw in, just going as far as the body will go. And again, an inhale when we're static. Exhale, torso to center. 2 more times either side. Take an inhale here. Exhale to the right. Not trying, inhaling. Something about twists, right? Just make us want to exhale back to center, make us want to sort of put some effort in. Taking a breath here. On your exhale, twisting to the left, as far as the body wants to go with that breath. Inhaling once you're static there. Exhale to center. 1 more, either side, just with your own breath. I'm not going to cue this. And then once you are back to center, just releasing the hands. And a couple of breaths here. Before we finish off together, we're going to take just a minute or two in seated meditation. Just give yourself a hug. Bring your knees in. Just, You can take your feet wider, still giving yourself a hug. Giving yourself a hug. The general that we are. Giving yourself a hug, if you can, coming from a place of self-care, support, understanding. Releasing the hug, just crossing your legs in the non-dominant way. So the opposite of when we were twisting. We're going to spend just a couple of minutes together in meditation. If meditation is quite new to you, and I find it's a loaded word, oh God, meditation, you know. It's just about being still, like internally still. And to do that, we can focus on the breath. And if your mind is very active and you want to give it something to do, you may want to count on an inhale, whatever that natural count is, and then count that same count for the exhale. So choosing to move your awareness back to the breath again. If it works for you, a natural count, whatever your inhale is, but making sure the exhale is the same count. Or if you're more practiced in a stillness practice, a meditation practice, just witnessing the breath. And if you wander off and start stepping into your day, don't worry about it, we all do it. Just choosing to come back to the breath. So 1 minute here. And then gently just opening the eyes. Thank you so much for wanting to practice with me. I hope this video helps you. If you do have any questions or you just want to ask a little bit more about what's going on or practicing, then please get in touch. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.